hello. Seeing if this is working. Oh, sorry about that. So there you go. You mute the stream. Yeah, so game audio should be working, so should be good. Should be good. Yeah. But yeah, how's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac. It's been how long has it been? The 19th, and it's the 22nd. And when was the 19th? It was Sunday, and today's Wednesday. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not. Oh, sorry about that. It's not too bad at all compared to like as bad as it's gotten before. But yeah, so hope y'all are doing well. Hope y'all are doing well. I wanted to play some Steins. Well, because that's usually what it is when I do stream this game is because I want to, but I more in the sense that like excuse me, sorry. Haven't had the time over the past couple of days, so I wanted to set aside some time today and just play game, play game. But yeah, it's one of those days you just sometimes you feel it and sometimes you don't. So I'm excited to play this game because it makes me happy. But yeah, so do want to say I do have some plans for some videos coming out. I have 2 guaranteed that will come out that like no matter what I'm going to try my best to get out, because I can't say guaranteed because Lord knows what'll happen tomorrow. I might not even be here, but what's it called, as long as the Lord's willing, I will get out this next video that I'm working on, and Steins Gate 0. As long as I can finish the game, I will be making a video on that again, Lord willing. I have 2 other videos though that I want to make that one of them will take significantly longer and the other one will take about the same time it took me to make the Steins Gate original video. So don't expect those last 2 anytime soon. Definitely like post the new year. As for these other 2, again, like Steins Gate video, as long as I can finish that one, it'll come out before the end of the year. And this new one, it's the next video to come out, so you'll see that one when it comes out. I'll put a post, a community post when I have more concrete information, because I know what it's going to be. It's just I want more solid groundwork before I confirm like, yeah, this is the video, because it could change. But yeah, no. So that being said, last time we played, if I remember correctly, we started this other side of the bracket where we turned off Kagari's phone back in like December, and now we're, because in the route that I showed you guys, like Gehenna, Stigma, and Vega and Altera out, we actually skipped all the way through December. Like we didn't really see much of it. We saw more like January and beyond that, but here we're seeing a lot more December. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. And on top of that, like the Christmas party isn't happening in this route, like at all. But instead, we're having a New Year's party, which is really cool. But yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm ready to continue. Let's keep going.
どうだ少しは落ち着いたか
はい、おかげさまで。
Kana had passed out after hearing the name Kagari from Suzuha, but with help from Lukaku and a girl, she woke up 10 minutes later. But she still didn't look very good.
ルカ子、それにマユリ、すまないが何か冷たいものを買ってきてくれないか
え？
それから額に貼る冷却シートのようなものもあると嬉しい。
I felt bad for Lukaku, but I probably didn't want either of them hearing what we were about to discuss.
わかった。行こう、ルカ君。
Lukaku seemed interested in hearing hearing about what was going on, but still he went along with Mayuri. There you go. What happened next was the problem.
カナさん、
かがり、お前今までどこで何をしていた？
Suza opened her mouth to second Mayuri and Lukaku left. Her words were as sharp as a knife blade and Kana looked
一
terrified.
体どういうつもりであの時？
待て鈴葉。彼女は記憶を失ってる。
なんだって？
I explained what had brought Kana here. Alright. Gotta pull up the guide so I'll make sure I don't miss anything and just end up repeating a route. What is this? What is it? What's going on? Oh boy, no porn games on my feed. Let's go. Okay, so to update you guys on how my playtime looks for this game, it's 32 hours. It's 32 hours so far. Not bad. And I am 60% done with the trophies. Again, this one, well, actually I didn't mention it before, but this one is a lot shorter in terms of trophy count. Excuse me, not shorter, a lot smaller, because the trophy count, or I can't talk. Wow. This game's trophy count's smaller than Steins Original because there's no extra trophies. It's just play the game, and if you get all the endings, you basically beat the game. Like that's all it really is. So I just got this off of playing normally. But yeah, so I know which ending I'm going for, so alright. Messages. There you go. I'm about to reveal an important secret to you, nya. But I refuse. It's so funny that they have all these emojis, but like Daru didn't know Daru didn't know Makise, so why would he make a sprite for her, right? There you go, why not? Oh yeah. Oh, Korean's getting excited? Yeah. Of course. Secrets are always exciting. Yeah, but like, it's fair stuff, so honestly, I don't know how much stock I put in that. Go, bop, bop. You know what? Yeah. So, what's the secret? Daru-nyan and Yuki-nyan went on a date? For real? For real? About to say, like, it's, Ari do that. Whoa. There you go.
記憶喪失。
ああ。
記憶喪失。それじゃあどこで何をしていたかも。
でもその前に確かめなければならないことがある。
Whether or not she was really Kagari Shina.
カナさん。
はい。
さっきしていた話は覚えてるか？
はい。
どうする？続きはもう少し回復してからにするか？
いえ、大丈夫です。
She was clutching her upa so hard that her fingertips had gone white. But there was light in her eyes as she looked up at Suzuha.
じゃあ、さっきの話を続けよう。鈴葉、お前が彼女をかがりだというその根拠は何だ？
そのウーパだよ。それはかがりが肌身離さず持ってたものなんだ。ママにもらったんだって、お守りだってずっと大事にしてた。
Kana slowly opened her hand. The tiny old Upa was staring up at us with a silly look on its face. A present from her mom. A present from Mayuri.
カナさんはそのウーパだけが自分が持っていたものだって言っていたが、
はい。記憶をなくして倒れていた私がただ一つ手にしていたのがこのキーホルダーだったそうです。
倒れていた？
はい。
どのあたりで倒れていたんだ？
千葉の参道です。県境あたりの。近くのお寺の住職さんが偶然通りかかって見つけてもらったそうで、その後しばらくはその方のお寺でお世話になっていたんです。ですがお寺は修行の場でもあるので長く女性を置いておくこともできないと。
それでルカ子の家にというわけか。
はい。その住職さん、ルカ君のことを女の子だって思っていて、それで年の近い女の子のいる家なら私にとってもいいだろうって。
First of all, she's
盲点だ
22.
った。まさかこんな近くにいたなんて。
The guest that Lukaku had mentioned a few days ago was probably that priest, which meant that Kagari Shina, had been there the whole time. How ironic. We've been searching blindly for her, without any idea. And she'd been there the whole time. If only I had taken Lukaku's call, we wouldn't have had to go through all this.
それでカナさん、君はカガリという名を聞いて何か思い出すことはないか？
正直を言うとよくわかりません。ただすごく懐かしい感じがします。それに
Kana's words cut off as she looked at Suzuha.
その先ほどの方、まゆ姉さんのこと？まゆ姉さん？
あの子は椎名真由里というんだ。
That's your mom.
まゆりさん。
That's your mom.
あの方を見たとき、なぜだかすごく温かい気持ちになりました。
Even if she was Kagari Shina, she would only have known Mayuri after she'd grown up. But her appearance can't have changed that much. Which meant that it would make sense that seeing her would stir some feelings within Kagari, because to be fair,
それもう一度見せてもらってもいい？
like, usually people change a lot when they, going from being a teenager to being an adult, but Mayuri didn't change much at all. Honestly, she just got taller, I think.
はい。
Kagari handed the old Upa over to Tiji. Huh? That's a typo. Yeah, that's a typo. Kagari handed the old Upa over to Kana. She handed it to herself. That's not possible.
やっぱりこれかがりが持ってたものだよ。では私はその椎名かがりという名前だったんでしょうか？
そうだな。まだ確証があるわけじゃないが、そう考えるのが妥当だと思う。
いや、間違いない。彼女はかがりだ。そのキーホルダーが何よりの証拠だよ。まゆ姉さんがかがりにあげたものなんだから。でもよりによって記憶喪失だなんて。
The keychain probably did belong to Kagari, but she also could have been gifted it by Kagari Shina, or she could have picked it up off the ground. Of course, Suza said that the keychain was very important to Kagari. It's unlikely that she'd drop it or give it to someone else. Which meant, then the door opened, and Mayuri poked her head through to see what was going on.
大丈夫ですか？
ああ、悪かったな、わざわざ。
いえ。
The drinks and cooling sheets were taken out of their plastic bags and put on the desk.
それでその
Kako waited a moment for her to take a sip of the drinks he'd brought in and spoke with a
カナ
quivering
さんは
voice.
そのアマネさんの知り合いのカガリさんという方だったんでしょうか。
そうだな。そう考えるのが妥当だと思う。
そうですか。よかったです。名前だけでも分かって。ルカ君。
Kana, that is Kagari, smiled gently when she saw how relieved Lukako was.
でもそれならアマネさんはカガリさんの本当のお家を知っているんでしょうか。
That's the thing, Suzuha is her real family.
いや、それは
Oh, well, I guess.
鈴葉はカガリさんと子供の頃ご近所だったそうだ。でも12年前に引っ越してしまって、それからの行方がわからなかったらしい。そうだな。
そうなんだ。それで最近急に懐かしくなってオカリンおじさんに相談してたんだよ。
そういうわけだ。だから鈴葉にもカガリさんの家族のことやどこに住んでいたのかはわからないらしい。
そうなんですか。
That's a load of BS. That was the only answer I could come up with. If we told Kagari that she was a time traveler from the year 2036 who come here 12 years ago, it would only cause or only
あ
confuse
と
her.
は彼女が記憶を取り戻してくれれば何がどうなっていたのか全てわかるはずなんだが。
She learned her name and met both Suzuha and Mayuri. Mayuri's presence alone had to be a big deal.
カガリさん。はい。カガリさんの上のお名前はなんていうのかな。さっきはよく聞こえなくて、だからよかったら教えてほしいな。その岡部さんたちのお話だとシーナと。じゃあマユシーと一緒だ。マユシーもね、シーナっていうの。
Yeah, I wonder
シ
why.
ーナマユリ。シーナマユリさん。嬉しいな。マユシー同じ名字の人に会ったの初めてだよ。そうなんですか。だからこれからよろしくお願いします。はい、こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
There you go. Give me 1 second. Pause that. Alright. Mayuri was using her natural cheerfulness to try and open up to Kagari. If it worked, maybe she could bring back her memories. ルカ君から聞いたんだけど、カガリさんは記憶喪失なの？はい。それって自分が誰かも忘れちゃうってことなんだよね。はい。そっか。きっと辛いこといっぱいだよね。だって自分の大好きな人のことも忘れちゃうんでしょ。それってすごく悲しいことだってマユシーは思うのです。だからね、うまく言えないけど、マユシーもお手伝いするから頑張ろうね。Mayuri smiled. I could see Kaguri's eyes well up with tears. 急にどうしちゃったのかな。マユシ、何か変なこと言っちゃったかな。
そうじゃないんです。ただマユリさんの言葉を聞いてなんだか嬉しくって。
ゆしだけじゃなくオカリンもすずさんもルカくんもみんな同じ気持ちだよ。
もちろんです。
That's not
僕
true.
もできることがあれば何でもしますから。
Okay, that may be true.
ありがとうございます。ルカくん、まゆりさん。
I could leave Kagari to my area in the Kako and she'd be just fine. But I'm not gonna do that. The question was what to do now.
ルカ子、頼みがあるんだが。
なんでしょう。
かがりさんはもう少しお前の家に置いてもらってもいいだろうか。
That's up to her. Jeez, that's up to his dad, bro.
その間に俺たちは彼女が今までどうしていたのかを調べようと思う。
はい、もちろんうちは構いません。
鈴葉もそれでいいか。
わかった。
Suzuha probably wasn't completely happy with that, but she nodded anyway. Our first priority now is getting back Kagari's memories.
それじゃあルカくんのお家に行けばかがりさんに会えるんだね。まゆしも遊びに行っていい？
もちろんだよ。ね、かがりさん。はい。
鈴葉もできるだけ顔を出してやってくれ。その方が記憶を取り戻すにはいいだろう。
オーキードーキー。そうだ、クリスマスパーティーができないから今ね、お正月パーティーをしようかなって思ってるんだ。かがりさんにも手伝ってもらえると嬉しいな。
いいんですか、私なんかが。
もちろんだよ。ね、ルカくん。
一緒にパーティーしましょう。
There you go. Anytime you got three girls together, they start chattering like birds. The girls, or excuse me, the girls, although one of them was a guy, began to chatter away. I had my own work to do. First, had to let Moeka know we found her. Moeka. Moeka. Knowing Moeka, she responded almost immediately. Alright, okay. Let me see. We found Kagari Shina. No, wait, where? A friend who works at the shrine was taking care of her. She was found on a mountain path near the Shiba border, but she's lost her memories from before then. She was that close? Wow! We were looking for whoever... we've been looking for whoever's after her, but can't find any info. Maybe a pretty big group. It'd be a big help if you could help up, or help... It would be a big help if you could keep it up. Okie dokie. That was all I needed to do for Moeka. But I was still interested in the group who'd been looking for Kagari. I also wanted to know what she was doing lying on a mountain path. What was she doing out there? And with only an Upa? Could she be running from someone?
ルカ子、ちょっといいか。
はい、なんでしょう。
かがりさんをなるべく神社の外に出さないでほしい。
どうしてですか？
理由は聞かないでくれ。頼む。
はい、わかりました。岡部さんがそう言うなら。
It couldn't hurt to be careful. If it was nothing, then I was fine. Once Kagari got her memories back, I'd know for sure. Nobody knew when that would be, though. It's so funny, like, seeing this Okabe. Because, you know, we see the other Okabe on the other side of the route. And it's just, you know, he's just minding his business. He's going through college, he's doing whatever. And here, Okabe's just locked in. Like, Okabe's actually just locked in. This is the Okabe that we saw with the time machine, but with no Hoin Kyoma. This is just reasonable and calculating Okabe. It's raw. It's raw. the day before Christmas. Christmas Eve. The day after Lukaku took Kagari to the lab. I took Mayuri to Yanabayashi's shrine through an Akihabara that was filled with Christmas spirit. Oh, here.
あ、まゆりちゃん。それに岡部さんも。
Lukaku was smiling. He'd seen us before we could say anything. His smile was far too cute to belong to a man. Once again, I was forced to doubt his real gender.
ルカ君、かがりさんも。てってる
てってるです。
That's cute.
かがりさんすごい。
何がですか？
だってマユシーが「トゥットゥルー」って言っても最初はなかなかみんな「トゥットゥルー」って返してくれないよ。
初めて会った相手にそれが挨拶なのだと理解しろというのも酷な話だな。
うん、だからみんな「何それ」って言うのにかがりさんは普通に返してくれたのです。だからすごいなーって。
私は別になんとなくそうかなって。
Maybe Mayuri's strange greeting had embedded itself in some part of Kagari's mind. Which meant that even 25 years from now, Mayuri was still saying tuturu. Oh, no, Mayuri. Alright. Alright. Suzuha's voice. About Kagari. Is there something bothering you? Did you find a way to get her memories back? Heck yeah. I'm honestly a little relieved that Kagari lost her memories. I'm scared that they might come back. I'm sure she hates me. But you still want them to come back anyway, right? Yeah, I guess. Dwelling on the past won't help. It just kind of bothers me. Sorry, don't tell anyone about this. Gotcha. Talk to me. Oh wait, I got a new wallpaper for the phone. Wallpaper settings. There you go. FG204. That yeah, I'm going with the FG204. Yeah. Look at that. Oh, look at that's hard. That's hard. Heck yeah, bro. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
あ、岡部さんもトゥットゥルーです。
どうも。
I still didn't know how to deal with her. She'd been 10 years old when she was separate from Suzuha. That was 12 years ago, she'd be 22 now. That meant that she was older than me, but she was also Mayuri's adopted daughter. That would make her like Suzuha, who was Daru's daughter. Suzuha was at least the same age as me and Daru, so I didn't need to worry about being polite to my elders, but...
あ、そうだ。今日はクリスマスイブだよ。メリークリスマス。
そういえばそうだったね。メリークリスマス。メリークリスマスです。
Was it okay to celebrate Christmas at a shrine?
ところでそのかがりさん調子はどうかな。
悪くはないです。でもまだ何も。
いや、記憶に関しては無理して思い出そうとする必要はないよ。時間が来れば戻るだろう。それくらいの気でいた方がいい。
わかりました。
Of course, she probably wanted to remember them faster than that.
どうかしたか？
いえ、ルカ君もまゆりちゃんも、それに岡部さんもみんな優しいなって思って。
そんな、俺は別に優しくなんてない。
照れなくてもいいのに。
She'd been so depressed when we first met that this was probably the first time I'd seen her smile. Her smile was somehow childish, and she seemed a lot younger than I'd been told she was.
したら急に慣れ慣れしい感じになっちゃって。
いや構わないよ。こっちだってタメ口で喋ってるんだし。
そうだよ、マユシーもね、普通に喋ってくれた方が嬉しいな。だってその方、
お友
shoot, I
達。
thought.
そうだよ、マユシーもね、普通に喋ってくれた方が嬉しいな。だってその方がお友達って感じがするでしょ。
There you go.
お友達。
ありがとう、まゆりちゃん。お友達か。
Maybe this is how the future Mayuri became close to her as well. That, you know, she was her mother, but a war orphan. That's what Suzu has said about Kagari. And all that was, it was my fault, wasn't it? If I did what Suzu had wanted, would her life change? But for that to happen, I would have to once again.
岡部さん、大丈夫ですか？なんだか顔色が優れないみたいですけど。
Shoot, I mean, if anything,
ああ、なんでもな
sorry,
い。
I mean,
ちょっと寝不足なだけだ。
to the person in chat, don't worry about, you know, not being able to watch it, because, you know, at the end of the day, like, if you want to see it, and I'm not saying you should or you have to, but the VOD will be in the playlist if you want to see it. I'll on my channel you'll see the VOD, whatever, like the VOD playlist I have there, or if you just go to the live streams and check there, but it's up to you really. Just know that I am gonna upload a VOD, so don't worry.
そうですか。だったらいいんですけど。
それよりルカ子は何をしていたんだ？忙しそうにしていたみたいだが。
本殿のお掃除をしていたんです。
掃除ならいつもやってるんじゃないのか？
It felt like every time I came here, Lukaku had a broom in his
今日は
hands.
普段できないようなところも含めての大掃除なんです。
ああ、そうか。もうすぐ正月だしな。
New Year's is a big deal for
す
a
す
shrine.
払いは先日やったんですが、まだやり残しているところもあるので、かがりさんにも手伝ってもらっていたんです。ただお世話になってるだけなのも気が引けるもん。少しくらいは役に立たないと。
Lukaku and Kagari seem to be getting along just
お
fine.
や、ルカ、お客さんかな？
あ、お父さん。
Lukaku's father was poking his head out from behind the shrine. He had the look of a saint, but I knew he had some bad habits. Mostly the same type as Daru had. Dressing up Lukaku in shrine priestess clothes and having him help around the shrine was all his idea. Yeah,
おや、
Sosuke
これは
Aizen.
岡部君にまゆりちゃん。メリークリスマス。
Sosuke pervert
メリー
though.
クリスマスです。
There you go. Wait, aren't you not allowed to say
おや
that?
どうかしたかい、岡部君？
いえ、
Well, if it didn't bother them, I guess it's fine. More importantly, I need to thank them for what they were doing for Kagari.
実は彼女のことなんですが。
かがりさんというそうだね。ルカから聞いたよ。まさか君たちが知っている人だったとは。世間は狭いね。
はい。それでもう少しの間お宅でお世話になることができればありがたいんですが。
何か理由があるようだね。もちろんうちとしては大歓迎だよ。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます、おじさん。
はは、いいんだよ。私も新しく娘ができたみたいで嬉しいからね。
できたみたいって、お父さん、お姉ちゃんがいるじゃないですか。
あの子はちっとも家に帰ってきてくれないじゃないか。私が寂しがっているのを知っていて、そういう意地悪をするんだ。 そうだ、いいことを考えたよ。せっかくこれだけ女の子がいるんだから、お正月には神社を手伝ってもらうというのはどうだろ
手伝うって巫女ですか？
う。もちろん、かがりちゃんにもまゆりちゃんにもちゃんと巫女装束を着てもらってね。どうかな？
でもそんなの2人に悪いですし。あら、私なら大丈夫よ、ルカ君。お世話になってるんだもん。それくらいしなきゃ。
本当かい？
マユシーはお正月はパーティーの準備をしなきゃいけないので、それにコスプレ衣装を作るのは好きだけど、自分で着るのは。
Mayuri, a shrine priestess outfit actually isn't cosplay, you know.
そうか。まゆりちゃんの巫女姿、岡部君も見たいんじゃない？
You know, I don't have an innate desire to see that. No. Why is he asking me?
そうなの？オカリン。
This is not a pervert.
俺は
This is not a pervert to pervert connection. No, we are not the same.
とぼけても無駄だよ。ちゃんと顔に書いてある。
Sosuke Aizen, you bastard, bro. No way. If I were to look at a mirror right now, I most definitely would not see it written on my face.
オカリンがそう言うなら。
Mayuri, don't listen to him.
それはよかった。よし、そうと決まれば巫女装束をもっと用意しなければいけないな。母さん。
He must have been afraid that Mayuri and Kagari were gonna change their minds, because he quickly ran behind the shrine. You seriously couldn't let your guard down and run out. Yeah, this man was not like this in the original game. They definitely made him more of a pervert, bro. What the heck? Well, actually,
ごめんなさい。
nah, he was like this. He was. I remember now because of the fact that, like, what's the word? Excuse me, I keep wanting to call him Sosuke. Luca's dad was the same guy again. That's the name I mentioned in this game that puts Lukaku in the shrine priest's outfits. It's the whole reason why his sprite looks like that in the original game. So Lukaku having an actual normal sprite is really refreshing here. His dad's a pervert, man. Weirdo.
ルカ君が謝ることないよ。
でもせっかく楽しみにしてたお正月のパーティーが。
それはここのお手伝いが終わった後でもできるから平気だよ。
うん、そうだね。僕も手伝うから何でも言ってね。
ありがとう、ルカ君。
でも巫女さんの格好なんて私に似合うかな？
大丈夫、絶対に似合うよ。
そうかな？
マユシーはね、お友達のコスプレの衣装とかたくさん作ってるからわかるの。
そう言ってもらえるなら頑張ってみるね。
Since I asked him to keep Kagari from leaving the shrine, she probably needed something like this to relax. Maybe that was why Lukaku's father had asked her. No way. Either way, it was gonna be a busy New
それじゃあ
Year's.
俺はこれで。
もう帰られるんですか？僕お茶もお出しせずに。
かがりさんの様子を見に来ただけだからな。
オカリン、マユシーは。
分かってる。もう少し正月の話をするんだろう。俺はラボに戻ってるから。
ありがとう、岡部さん。
She bowed her head a little and smiled innocently. She still had her memories as a war orphan. Would she be able to smile like that? Oh, what a question. It's important to ask, but still. Come to think of it, what would she, Hyajo, be doing on New Year's? She said that New Year's was a time for partying with your friends, but it didn't seem like she had any friends to party with.
だから何度言ったらわかるのよ。
There you go, speaking of. I heard a voice I thought I recognized. It was Hyajo herself. And she was yelling at a police officer. Which meant
証明するものって、ちょっと待って、今。
ヒアジョーさん、
岡部さん、いいところにちょっとお願いがあるんだけど。
おまわりさん、彼女はれっきとした大人の女性です。間違いありません。
君は知り合い？
はい、大学の先輩にあたります。
I didn't feel like explaining the whole thing. She wouldn't mind if I told her a lie like that, probably.
大学？
東京電機大学です。なんなら調べてもらってもいいですけど。
ああ、いや、そこまでは。でも、そう。
That's so
小学
disrespectful.
生じゃ。
Oh my gosh, that's so disrespectful. The policeman left, shaking his head.
なんなのもう、謝るくらいしたらどうなのよ。ほんと訴えてやろうかしら。
まあまあ、それだけ仕事熱心ってことじゃないかな。
あなたもあなたよ、岡部さん。
俺？
一見しただけで私が子供に間違われて補導されそうになってるって分かったんでしょ。
Oh, that's adorable.
一目で分かるなんて、あなたもそう思ってるって証拠だわ。
それは。
She's not wrong. Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut.
まあでも、助けてくれたことには感謝するわ。ありがとう。
いや。
Oh, I love Maho. You should have just said so to begin with then. Come and think of it, Kurisu is the same way. We're all genius scientists like this.
それで、ヒアジョーさんはこんなところで何を？
これよ、これ。
She showed me a big bag. Well, no. It just looked big because Maho was holding it. Actually, it wasn't very big at all.
例のノートパソコン。ここならパスを解析できる業者がいるかなって思ったんだけど。
Evidently, she was holding Kurisu's
まだそ
laptop.
れにこだわっていたのか。
そりゃあプライベートを覗くのは良くないって思うわ。でも私はあの子が何を考えて何をやろうとしていたのか知りたいのよ。あなたはいいわよ。あの子が亡くなる前に会って話したりしてるんだもの。
Not in this world line, I didn't.
でも私にはまだ実感がないの。急に亡くなったって連絡を受けただけ。葬儀にも出られなかった。だから少しでもクリスのことを知りたい。今さらって思うかもしれないけど、それが私の中でのあの子の死に対する折り合いのつけ方なのよ。
ヒアジョーさん。
だから岡部さん、教えて。何でもいいの。あの子がパスワードとして設定しそうな言葉、一つや二つ心当たりあるでしょ。
I knew how she felt, and I knew she wanted a way to cope, because I still hadn't come to grips with it myself. But still,
悪いけど知らないよ。
岡部さん、
すまない。
そうやって逃げるの？
逃げる？
wow.
アマデウスとコミュニケーションを取らなくなったのも逃げてるからでしょ。
She was right. I had run away. I had run away from a chain of tragedy that repeated itself thousands of times. And the results of that running away was who I was today.
クリスったらすっごい文句言ってたわよ。岡部さんは冷たいって。
I could imagine. Knowing her, she probably said all kinds of things about me. But
そうだ。冷たいんだよ。
oh, you cold.
俺は。
I abandoned her.
岡部さん。
My attitude must have affected her because Maho had fallen silent. I realized too late that I made a mistake. I didn't need to put it like that.
すまない。
うん。
She was kind of out of pocket for saying what she said. I'm not gonna lie. Tell me you're running away. What do you know about me, woman? This is really awkward. You need to say something to change the subject.
そうだ、ヒアジョーさん。正月は何か予定あるのか？
いえ、今のところは何もないけど。
だったら 初詣にみんなで柳林神社に行かないか？まゆりたちも手伝うことになってるんだ。
まゆり？
Alright. Mayuri wasn't there when she visited the
俺
lab.
の幼馴染なんだ。ラボの一員でもある。
幼なじみ。
ああ、その後でラボでパーティーもやるらしい。なんならヒアジョーさんも巫女装束を着て神社を手伝ってもらってもいい。
巫女装束。それってコスプレとかいうやつ？
いや、ちゃんとした手伝いだからコスプレにはならないと思う。
そう。でもそれはやめとくわ。私に合うサイズもないだろうし。
She's probably right, actually. They might have had some of Lukaku's old clothes from his childhood around, but it seemed like a bad idea to mention that.
ちょっとそこで納得しないでくれる？
すまない。
What do you want? Do you want me to agree with you or not?
で、集合はラボでいいの？何時に行けばいい？
え、でも
手伝うのはパスだけど、日本の初詣には行ってみたいと思ってたの。その後のパーティーはまあその時考えるわ。
That made sense. If she met Mayuri and didn't get along, there was probably no need to go to the party with her.
じゃあ細かいことはまた連絡するよ。
ええ、楽しみにしてるわ。
Well, that's it. Okay, cool. The time between then and New Year's flew by. Parties and drinking at school. When I was over, Komima. Of course, all I did for that was just watch Daru and Mayuri run around. And then it was January 1st, 2011.
これで全員揃ったか？
So,
じゃあ今から点呼取るよ。
the thing
天
is,
飯。
you're supposed to do the New oh wow, I'm bugging. Holy, I was over here. This would be like a moment where face cam would have been perfect for that, where I was doing the 6-7 motion instinctually without even realizing it. I'm not even that type of guy either. That's the worst part. Like, but yeah. Anyways, so you're supposed to do the party New Year's Eve. You're not supposed to do it New Year's after. Or it's easy, not New Year's after, New Year's Day. There you go. But different culture, so maybe they do it differently. Who knows?
はい。
魔法タン。
Maho.
だからその呼び方やめてって言ってるでしょ。
楓氏。吹雪氏。
Hi.
であとは。
私で
Oh, that's adorable.
ナイ様。なおかりん、なんでブラウン氏まで行くことになってんの？
Cause that's his daughter. What are you talking
だっ
about?
て知らない。まゆりがナイを誘ったらついて
Cause that's his daughter.
おい、何ひそひそ話してやがる。
いえ、何も。
Yeah, they're out of pocket, man.
お父さん、私ね、まゆりお姉ちゃんの巫女さん姿、すごく楽しみなんだ。
そうだな、すまないな。本当ならお父さんが連れてってやりたかったんだが。
Huh?
その天王寺さんは来られないのですか？
Wow.
当たり前だ。何を好き好んで俺がおめえらと初詣せねえなら
Hell
俺は
no.
ちょっと休養で出かけなきゃいけなくなっちまったからおめえらに苗を預ける。ちゃんと面倒見ないと家賃あげっからな。
When we heard that, Daru and I both let out a sigh of relief, even though he was still right there. And I, in particular, was trying to avoid Tenoji as much as I. Oh yeah, wow. Kind of forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, no. I, in particular, was trying to avoid Tenoji as much as I possibly could. His ostensible job was running his strange brown tube workshop, but he was actually the leader of the Rounders. He worked for CERN. My heart wasn't strong enough to deal with him knowing that. The only reason I didn't leave the building altogether was that Daru and Mayuri opposed it. There's also the hope that if something did happen, I'd be able to learn something about the Rounders' movements. Still, I hadn't come back to the lab for a long time.
ダメだよお父さん、そんな言い方しちゃ。
おお、そうだったな。さすがナエはいい子だな。
おかりんおじさん、お願いします。
おう。
That's adorable. She finally opened up to him. That melts the heart. That melts the heart so. Oh my gosh. So for the people who don't know, if you didn't play the original, Nai was super afraid of Okabe because if you didn't play the original, Okabe was very different in the original. So seeing him here and the fact that he's mellowed out, you know, grief has just come and gone mostly. She's opened up to him. She sees that he's a normal guy. It's adorable. Nai didn't seem as scared of me, probably because I stopped treating her like a small, cute animal.
夜になったら迎えに来るからよろしくな。
わかりました。
Right.
まだ何か。
いや、やっぱりおめえ随分と変わっちまったよな。前はほうだとかなんとか妙なことばっかり言ってたのによ。どうにも調子が狂っちまうぜ。
おかげさまで大人になったんです。
大人にね。ま、とにかく苗を頼んだぜ。
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, bro, Tomo. I'm an adult now. I'm a soldier. I'm a Marine. No, bro, it's been half a year. Like, it's legit been half a year. Every time I'm an adult now. No, you're not. No, you're not. But shoot, man. To be fair, Tenoji's right. Like, nobody's really saying it, but everybody notices it. Okabe is not the same guy. Not at all. Even back when he was holding Kyoma and he acted a little normal, like when he wasn't putting on the facade, he's not the same man. And it's because of the character change, the grief, and we'll see that later on. But it's important. It's important. Let me see though. Let me see something real quick. Okay. Not yet. Not yet. Everyone in the room except Nai let out a big sigh of relief the minute Tenoji
とに
left.
かくこれで全員だな。
That's so cute. Fubuki, Kaide, Yuki, Maho, and Nai. It's a strange group. Of course, we were all going to Yanabayashi Shrine.
本当に良かったの？私なんかが来てしまって。
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
気にしなくていい。こっちこそなんだかよくわからない集まりになってしまったけど大丈夫かな。
馴染んだって言ったら嘘になるわね。でも初詣ってちょっと興味もあったし、それに同年代の知り合いが増えるのも嬉しいわ。
そう言ってもらえると助かるよ。
Maho's probably feeling a little left out, but that would solve itself with time.
マユシーのコスプレ超楽しみ。
もう吹雪ちゃんたらコスプレじゃなくて今日はあくまでも清掃だよ。鈴葉さんの巫女装束も楽しみですね、橋田さん。
まあね、妹属性の巫女さんつうのも悪くない。つうか、どうせならそこにナース属性も追加してくれれば萌えの数え役満なのだが。
橋田さんは相変わらず変態さんですね。
Wow.
紳士だけどね。
In the end, instead of just Mayuri helping at the shrine, Suzuha and Barris had gone to Suzuha, huh? Barris I could understand, but I certainly hadn't expected Suzuha to go. She's probably worried about Kagari, but there was also another reason, she said. She heard that She heard that she'd get paid. Susan had enough money with her to get by this time period, but since it wasn't her own money, she preferred not to spend it on living expenses. She'd rather make her own money instead. That was something that had always impressed me.
そうそう、大事なことを忘れてました。
大事なこと？
新年明けましておめでとうございます。
Happy New
ああ、
Year's.
そっか。昨日までコミマだったからまだ年明けたって気がしないんだよね。
2011.
それじゃあ私たちも改めて明けましておめでとうございます。
So, for people who may or may not know, 2011 is a pretty cool year. I remember this is honestly one of the first years where like I was actually a conscious member of society. Well, as much as I could be, because I was like, what, 9 years old at that point. But 2011 is a pretty cool year because that's when the Nintendo 3DS came out. Yeah, Nintendo 3DS came out. Well, can you give me the release date, please? Dang, you can get one for $41 for the original base model. That is insane. Release February 26, 2011. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Man, the nostalgia. I remember I had a blue 3DS space model, and then I got a blue XL, and then that was it. I didn't get anything else after that. I got a Wii U, but after that was basically the end of my Nintendo era because I moved on to PlayStation after that. But it's funny, right? Because like I feel so bad for my mom. I broke almost every 3DS I had except for the one that I have now, which was the last one I owned. The first two I broke because I was just being dumb and I was a kid. Like I would just drop it. Like I remember one time I was walking into my sister's room and my mom was in there with her and they were just talking. And I walked in and I was like, I didn't even say anything. I legit just walked in and I dropped it on the floor and the screen broke. Like it didn't crack, it legit broke. It broke apart. And so I was just like, I was so happy. My life was so great. And then boom, immediate tears. Oh my gosh, I was so sad. I was so sad. But yeah, anyways, let me put that side tangent. Let me put away that side tangent.
これでよしと。
じゃあ挨拶も済ませたことだし、そろそろ行くか。
いざ行かん。ミコミコパラダイス。
橋田さん、神社にパラダイスはないと思いますよ。
あ、そっか。
We all headed to Yanabayashi Shrine, laughing and talking as we went. To be honest, Akihabara on New Year's wasn't that much different than any other time of the year. The stores were open and there were lots of customers seeking New Year's bargains. Only difference was that there were fewer cars.
ねえねえ、ダルおじさん。
はい、なんでしょう、ナイ様。
おじさんは紳士なの？
そうだお。おじさんは変態だけど紳士なのだぜ。キリ。
橋田さんはどうしてナエちゃんのことを様付けで呼ぶんですか？
幼女はその存在だけで敬われるべきだからです。キリ。
はあ。
They look like a family walking together. Were Suzuha, Daru, and Yuki ever able to spend any time together like that? It's a really nice
そういえ
observation.
ば、ふぶきちゃん。この前言っていた変な夢はどう？あれ？最近はあんまり見なくなったかも。やっぱ疲れてたみたい。そっか。だったらいいんだけど。
変な夢？
ああ、ちょっと一時期悪夢にうなされちゃった時期があって。
悪夢って？
お、食いつきますね。ひょっとして私に気があるとか。
ダメよ、ふぶきちゃん。オカリンさんには
好きな人がいるんだから。ああ、そうか。
何の話だ？
オカリンさんには好きな人がいるって話。
俺に？
Told him that. My Yuri, maybe?
俺には好きな人なんていないよ。
そうなんですか？本当に？
本当だって。
My Yuri talked about them a lot, but thinking back, this is probably the first real conversation I had with them. Still, they were easy to talk to.
そんなことより二人とも頼みがあるんだが、できればヒアジョーさんに話しかけてやってもらえないか？
え？
彼女アメリカの大学から来てるんだけど、まだあんまりこっちに知り合いいないから。
アメリカ？すごい！
Shh! Shut up! Instead of answering, Nakase gave a cry of surprise and went over to Maho, who'd been walking ahead of the crew.
ねえ、真帆さんってアメリカの大学に通ってるんですか？
まあそうだけど。
じゃあ英語ペラペラなんですか？
まあ生まれも生活もずっと向こうだから。
すごい！
That should probably help her open up a little.
オカリンさんって優しいんですね。
そんなことないよ。
No, I'm a cold person. I'm nonchalant. Like, bro, relax. Maho had told me the exact opposite just a few days ago.
でも人って優しいからこそ誰かを傷つけることもあるんですよね。
は？
いえ、何でもありません。私も真帆さんと話してきますね。
Kurishima jogged to catch up with the other girls, leaving behind a faint smell of perfume. I wonder what it smells like. I heard someone. The words stuck in my chest like needles for a while. Yanabayashi wasn't as busy as Kanda Shrine, but it was still a lot busier than I expected.
オカリンたちだにゃ。あーい、オカリン、こっちだにゃ。
明けましておめでとうございます。皆さん。
Look at this. Look at this. We have the natural, and the unnatural. Look at how happy everyone is here. Look at how happy she is. Nah, but it's so funny seeing Lukaku's old sprite in a way, with updated hairstyle. In a CG of all things, and not in like the actual sprite. And you know, Ferris for the first time seeing her in a Miko garb, and then Suzuha too, of all things, last thing I expected. At this point, it didn't even need to be said that Lukaku looked great in a Shine Priestess uniform. Ferris, for her part, still had her cat ears on, but her outfit was much simpler than the usual maid-up uniform. I was sure her fans would love it though. Daru, Yuki, and the others exchanged New Year's greetings as well.
Ferris-tan!
Yep.
Ferris-tan がミコミコにしてくれるなんて生きててよかった。
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you, bro.
ありがとうにゃ。ゆきさんも来てくれたんだ。明けましておめでとう、鈴葉さん。明けましておめでとうございます。
Suzuha always wore casual, light clothes, but this was pretty good too. If nothing else, it made it impossible to imagine her as Daru's daughter. If only she'd smile, this would be perfect.
妹属性の巫女さん来たこれ。それでお注射の時間だよ、お兄ちゃんって言っておくれよ。
もうそんなことばっかり言ってるから母さんに誤解されるんだ。
誤解？
なゆ姉さんから聞いたんだよ。母さん、自分が父さんからあまり好かれてないと思い込んでる。
なんでそうなるん？僕は鈴葉はもちろんアマネ氏もフェイリスタンもルカ氏もおにゃの子はみんな平等に好きなのに。
だからそういうのがダメなんだって。 二人ともさっきから何を？なんでもない。それよりほら、おみきとあとおみくじもあるからどうかな。
Suzu was right. If Dara didn't cut back a little, she might never be born. Omiki, holy sake that is offered to the gods. Also, so he can stop sexually harassing the girls around him, but that's, it's also a part of it. I have to talk to him about it later. Bro, chill
それに
out.
してもルカ君は相変わらず美人さんね。
いえ、そんな。
ほんとこれで男の子だなんて信じらんないよね。
あなた男の子なの？はい。嘘でしょ。日本ってやっぱり進んでるのね。
Sophisticated.
猫のお姉ちゃん。
Aww.
何かにゃ？まゆりお姉ちゃんはどこですか？まゆし？確かさっきまであっちでおみきを。あそこにいたにゃ。まゆし！こっちに来るにゃ。
Oh, I gotta see this real quick. I gotta hear this real quick.
猫のお姉ちゃん。
That's adorable.
たちが来てるにゃ。
That's so cute. Neko Onechan, that's so adorable. Mayuri must have not realized we were here because she came running over with Kagari and Tell. And here's the full CG.
明けましておめでとうございます。
明けましておめでとうございます、岡部さん。
ああ、おめでとう。
Mary's so round. Why is she so round?
どうかな。この格好似合ってるかな。
ああ、想像以上によく似合ってる。
本当？よかった。
Her facial expression went from tense to
メイ
relieved.
クインニャンニャンでもイベントでなんかじゃコスプレするんだろ？今更緊張することもないだろうに。
あれはお仕事だからいいのです。
I didn't understand how it could be okay to do it at work and not okay to do it when you weren't at work. And she was getting paid for this, so wasn't this work too?
岡部さん、私はどうかな。似合ってるかな。
ああ、かがりさんもすごく似合ってると思う。
やった。そうだ、後で一緒に写真撮ってくださいね。
写真？
Wow, she's bold.
だってほら、写真があれば記録に残るでしょ。私、今のうちにたくさん残しておきたいんです。また忘れちゃったりしないように。
She wasn't just happy because it was New Year's. Over the past 2 days, she's gotten a lot more cheerful. It's all thanks to Mayuri. Thanks to Mayuri. At the time, she seemed scared because of her lost memories, but this was probably just who she was. As she got ready for New Year's with Mayuri and Lukaku, she started to become her real self again, little by little. Well, Mayuri and Lukaku, yeah, I should say that.
やっぱりまゆりちゃん似合ってる。そうかな。なんだか恥ずかしいよ。そんなこと言ってまんざらでもないくせに。
Yeah, she loves it.
こちらがこの前言ってた
かがりです。椎名かがり。
本当だ。まゆしーと同じ名前なんですね。
偶然。
I gotta check something real quick. Tips. Boo boo keys. There you go. Hikaboshi. go. Orihime and Hikoboshi. There you go. I had to make sure. Vega and Altair or Orihime and Hikoboshi. Or Natsuhiko, I guess. It wasn't actually a coincidence though.
かがりさんもスタイルいいし、コスとか似合いそう。あ、私も思った。コス？コスプレ。ねえ、好きなキャラとかいるんですか？私、そういうのはちょっとよくわからなくて。ふぶきちゃん。ああ、そっか。ごめんなさい。あ、気にしないで、大丈夫だから。ねえ、オカリンもこっちに来て。マユシーがお祓いをしてあげるのです。この
the ladle, like the ladle thing.
なんだっけ。
Oh, actually, I should check on my phone instead of doing that. But I did want to check something, so let me see. Oh yeah, that's just nothing important. There we go. Yep, same old. How am I doing on time? Let's see. Probably like an hour and 30, right? Hour and 10. Nothing at all. Alright, let's keep going.
大ぬさだよ、まゆりちゃん。
Alright, Menonusa. A tool used in Shinto religion or religious rites, made by placing a string of paper streamers at the end of a branch from a sakaki tree. It's said that by waving it at a person, the impurities they possess are transmitted from them into the Onusa.
そうそう、大ぬさ。
そのためにはまず神様に手を合わせてこないとな。
あ、そうだね。それじゃあその後で私もお祓いしてあげる。
ああ、よろしく頼むよ。
I washed my hands in the water and prayed at the shrine. Come to think of it, this might have been the first time I'd done this here.
何をお願いしたの？
ん？ああ、世界が平和でありますようにってね。
またそうやってはぐらかすんだから。
So generic. Oh my gosh. It was true though. Of course, I knew it wasn't gonna come true, and now wishing would make it better.
そういえば遅いわね。
ん？
教授たち初詣に行くって言ったらすごく来たがってたから場所を教えておいたんだけど。
どこかで迷ってるのかな。
レイエス教授も一緒だからどこか寄り道してるのかもね。
Once they got here, it was probably gonna get even busier.
ねえ、あの子でしょ？
何がだ？
岡部さんの彼女。あのまゆりさんって人なんでしょ？
まゆりはそんなんじゃない。
嘘？じゃあどの子？
誰も違うよ。俺には彼女なんていない。
本当に？これだけ可愛い女の子がたくさんいるのに？
To be fair, that is surprising, right? Well, I guess not, because like inherently, all of Steins Gate original, you could date everyone, even like, well, I guess not even Lukaku, because they changed his gender for that route, which honestly, it came out in 2009, different time. If they kept them the same, I wouldn't have cared. I'm not gonna hold you. if they kept Lukaku a guy, it would have been the same route to me anyway. So, but yeah, no, what's it called? He dated everybody in that game, like everybody that he could at least, except for Moeka, and of course not Nai, because that's a girl. Excuse me, not a girl. That's a child. So besides that, like almost every girl in the game he dated. Granted, they're non-canon routes, but still. It's not like Okabe that he has it. He does have it. the intangible. So when you look at this game and you think, oh shoot, it's gonna happen again. It's going to happen again. But as you probably noticed, to put jokes aside, this game doesn't have romance routes like the other game did. Well, the other game I gave it credit that like the romance routes didn't feel like just, oh, I chose this character and that's it. Like, granted, you did choose that character, but it wasn't just a romance route. It was a route with romance involved, and it was nice. These routes are definitely more like, yeah, no, you're picking a story path. You're not picking a romance route. And the rest of the endings I can say are like that as well. But yeah, I don't blame Maho for thinking that. But then again, looking at that, looking at the world with that romantic lens does kind of tinge it a little bit, because they're just friends. Okabe's just friends with all these people, which are friends with other people by extension, which in turn means that he's friends with those people as well.
岡部さんってもしかして
A harem.
ああでも大丈夫よ私そういうのに偏見ないから
I finally figured out what she was trying to say.
違うよ。そういうのでもない。
そうなんだじゃあどうして彼女を作らないの
君、この前クリスに散々文句言ってたのに同じこと聞いてるぞ。
ああ言われてみれば自分のことだと嫌なのに人のことになると興味が出ちゃうのよね人間ってこれは反省が必要だわおかりー大仁田でシャンシャンってやってあげるから早く
You can't blame her.
ちょっと言ってくるよ。
You can't blame Baho for thinking that's your girlfriend though. Like, you really can't.
ええやっぱりクリスのことがあったからかしら
I could hear a small whisper, but I pretended that I didn't. What was supposed to be a short visit to the shrine ended up taking the whole day, as we talked and took pictures.
お待たせだにゃ。
ああいう衣装もなかなか肩が凝るね。
When we saw Ferris and Suzuha back in their usual clothes, it finally felt like things were going back to normal.
マユシーたちはまだ着替え終わってないからもう少し待っててほしいって言ってたにゃ。
Mayuri, Kaguro, and the Kagari and the Kako hadn't come back yet.
ななおかりん、着替えってもしかしてマユシたちとルカシ一緒に着替えてるんかな。
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you, bro.
それはまずいだろう。
いやん、ルカ君、背中のファスナーあげてそんな、僕そんなこと。
That's a Kako impression.
こっちもお願い。そんな会話があの中で繰り広げられてるんかな。はあは
あねえ岡部さんこの人大丈夫なの
Yes, very. Maho had only met Daru a few times and already she was starting to be wary of him.
ダルは言動はああだが害はない男だから心配しなくても平気だ。
It's funny, right? Because like when you know people who are very off-putting to strangers, it really is like that where you just have to be like plug a little weird, but he's chill because they really are. We know Daru's a good dude. It's just that he is such a pervert. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. You would think a guy like this, who says all of these, who just is rampant with is rampant with the degeneracy. You would think he'd actually be a menace, a problem, but he isn't. Not at all. Sure, he plays porn games, but shoot, man, he's not a bad guy. Like I gotta give him to him. He's not a bad guy. He has bad habits, but he's not a bad guy.
それにスーパーハッカーなんだにゃ。
Yep, that too.
それを言うならハッカーだろジョコ。
ハッカーそれ本当なの
大きな声では言えんけど、まあそんな感じのこともやってるから、何かあったら頼んでくれてもいいのだぜ。
そっか。だったら。
Oh no!
Oh no. We're gonna get the scene. We're gonna get the scene. Oh my gosh, this is one of the most famous scenes from this show, from this game. Oh man, this is one of the most famous scenes from the anime. Oh man. I hope you guys are ready. Maho's head jerked up in surprise at the sudden voice. I followed where she was looking and saw.
Where? Japanese German girl はどこにいるんだい、リンタロウ。
Where are the Japanese shaman girls, Rentaro? Look, I still can't believe Rei is 6'1". That's crazy. She is so tall. I almost just freaked out for a second. Oh my gosh, I almost went full geeker mode. Insane. Dr. Luskin and Dr. Reyes looked absolutely miserable.
マホからここに来ればジャパニーズシャーマンガールに会えると聞いてきたのにいないじゃない。
ジャパニーズシャーマンガール？
巫女さんのことよ。
Oh, I see.
今日はもう巫女さんの出番は終了です。
Holy cow! So I said we should come soon.
Oh my god.
But you just enjoyed shopping too.
Oh man, this game's English, man. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. It's cause like you really think that they would have just got English voice actors to voice these scenes, but nah, they just have the Japanese voice actors voices themselves. That's legit. That's all it is. That's all it is. And
Holy
it's
cow!
so funny.
So I said we should come soon.
That's so funny. Holy cow!
Holy cow! So I said we should come soon.
Oh man, that's so funny. Holy cow! They were both holding bags from electronics stores. Must have done a lot of shopping on the way here.
That's enough! どっちもどっちですよ。
And there's her English as well. So much English in this game. Usually Makise was the one, but now it's everybody. The two of them started to look around the shrine, not even bothering to hide their disappointment.
お待たせ、おかり。
ずいぶん遅かったな、マユリ。
ルカ君のお母さんにね、おせちいっぱいもらっちゃった。みんなで食べなさいって。
母があれも持っていけこれも持っていけって詰め直してたらこんな時間になってしまいました。すみません。
Yeah, moms do that. My mom does that too.
いや、こっちこそ気を使ってもらって悪いな。
ありがとう。
Excuse me? ちょっといいですか？
はい。
お参りというのはどうやるんですか？
It's so funny because you know these two, excuse me, these two are giants compared to Lukaku, who's like 5'3". Like legit, they're so tall compared to him, like 5'3", 5'4". Compared to 6'1" and like 6'3", these two are monsters compared to him.
First of all, we should beautify our hands and mouth there.
Oh, look at that. Look at Lukaku, you got knowledge, bro.
Please come with me. I'll show you how to do.
He got ball, bro. He got ball. So I'm your ball. Luca led the two professors off to pray. I wonder if there wasn't some kind of religious problem inherent in all this, but if they were fine with it, it wasn't my place to say anything. What's more important?
ルカ子、すごいな。まさかあんなに英語喋れるとは。
I
ルカ
respect
君、
it.
頭いいからね。
Barry, Yes, very. Lukaku is very smart. I feel like people underestimate that fact, especially in the last game. Lukaku is not dumb. If anything, out of the three, well, not even out of the three, out of the six of Mayuri's friends, like, well, excuse me, out of the five of Mayuri's friends, so Barris, Lukaku, Kaede, Fubuki, and Yuki. Lukaku is definitely the smartest out of those five. Was he?
それに秋葉原は観光の人が多いから何か聞かれてもいいように勉強してるんだって。
And even though he has an accent, it's still what's it called? Because like usually, and I'm not saying this to be rude because English is my second language, so I understand the premise, but like accents can make it hard to understand languages sometimes, which is perfectly fine. Accents also are an important characteristic to distinguish people in a good way, you know? Like people who have accents, like my sister has an accent and she speaks perfect English. There's nothing wrong with having an accent. It just so happens that since I learned English when I was younger, I don't have an accent, or at the very least my accent doesn't come through as often. But with Lukaku, he has an accent and he's perfectly understandable. Like it really goes to show like he knows ball. He knows ball. And if you have an accent too, be proud of it, you know. There you go. I just discovered a surprising side to Lukaku.
そういえばマユリ、カガリはどうした？
あれそろそろ出てくると。あ、来た来た。ほら。
ごめんね、お待たせしちゃって。
That was everybody then. Where's Nai? Now we just had to wait for Lukaku to
Thank
finish.
a lot. We had a wonderful experience.
Not at all.
それじゃあラボに向かうか。
あ、そのことなんですけど、実は私この後休養が入っちゃって。
ゆきさん来れないの？
ごめんね、まゆりちゃん。バイトで欠員出てどうしても入ってくれって。
そっか。それじゃあ仕方ないのです。
I saw that both Dara and Suzuha seemed disappointed too.
教授たちはこの後どうするんです？
私はこの後ヨガあるから。
私もよ。
今日はありがとう。素晴らしい発見だらけだったよ。シャーマンガールには会えなかったがね。
ほんとね。とってもエキサイティングだったわ。
それじゃあリンタロウ、たまにはクリスにも会ってやってくれ。
では皆さん、また。See you soon!
They smiled and disappeared into the bustling Akihabara streets.
じゃあ僕たちも行こうか。
そうだな。
Even without Yuki, there were still twice as many people as usual heading for the lab.
それでは改めまして明けましておめでとうございます。明けましておめでとう。
Oh, this is really sweet. Hold
ルカ
on.
君おへぎおいしいね。
Let's see. Oh, Kabe's never in these CGs, right? That's sad. Anyway, so we got Daru, Suzuha, Nai, Kagari, Barris, Lukaku, Mayuri, Kaede, Fubuki, and Maho. So, who is my favorite from everybody here? Actually, might be Kaede. I like her design in this scene. It's nice. Mayuri's is pretty good too. I like Fubuki in this right here. I think it's adorable. But Lukaku's, I don't know. This CG's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Maho's my favorite. Maho's my favorite.
本当？僕とかがりさんも手伝ったんだけど、そう言ってもらえてよかった。
えへんなんて私は盛り付けただけなんだけど。私この甘い卵焼き大好き。くるくるってなってるの。
There's so many. Cangrejo. Oh, excuse me, not cangrejo. Lobster. Tell him to bring up the whole lobster. Tell him to bring up the whole ocean.
こっちのお雑煮も絶品すぎる。鈴葉どうだお。
美味しいね。実はメイクインニャンニャンのお正月メニューなんだにゃ。
むふもちもちで柔らかいフェイリスタンの味がするお。
橋田さん、本当に変態さんですね。
Fubuki was barely putting any effort into her comments to Daru anymore. A whole day of his perversion must have tired her out.
アメリカだったらセクハラですぐ訴えられるわよ。
そういえばアメリカのお正月って何を食べるんでしょう。
そう七面鳥じゃないのか。
That's Thanksgiving.
それはクリスマスじゃないですか。
アメリカじゃ大晦日に騒ぐから年が明けると意外と質素よ。豆料理とか。
Beans.
豆料理って響きにときめくお年頃。
橋田さん、本当に変態さんですね。
Alright, man. Alright, we need to talk about this. We actually do need to talk about this. But plug a little weird, but sometimes we need to temper plug's weirdness, because what is this? What are we talking about? I sure do love licking a girl's beans, man. There is not only literally you are the only guy besides Okabe here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. Besides Lukaku and Okabe, you are the only guy here, and there are 7 girls, if I'm counting correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 right here, and then Varys, Suzuha, and Nai. Yeah, that's 7. Alright. There are 7 girls here, right? And you have the bright idea to be like, I love licking girls' beans. And you think that's funny? You think that's funny? What? I agree with Fubuki, man. Like, what is this? And not only that, there's a 12-year-old here, man. What's wrong with you?
橋田さん、本当に変態さんですね。
So it's so monotone and what's it called? It's legit. It's so robotic.
ほら、ないにゃん。この栗きんとん、美味しいにゃん。
Glazed chestnuts.
こっちの黒豆も栄養価が高そうでいいね。
そんなにたくさん食べられないよ。慌てないでいいから、よく噛んで食べるんだよ。かがりさん、お母さんみたいですね。やっぱり人が大勢いると楽しいね。おかり。
Yeah, imagine this. Because last time when the lab was this full, I was an original. Well, I guess the Christmas party too, but it's always nice enough when the lab's full.
ああ、そうだな。
How long had it been since we'd all had this much fun at the lab? No, that was in the Alpha World line. Which means that this may have been the first time in the Beta World line that we've done something like this. Oh, thanks for my urn.
お茶ってこれだけかにゃ。
The party hadn't started that long ago, but evidently we already ran out of tea.
兄さんが甘いジュースばかり買ってくるから。
お茶がなければコーラを飲めばいいじゃない。
おせちに炭酸は厳しいですよね。
じゃあ俺と誰で買ってこよう。
I couldn't let the girls go.
ここは私とふぶきちゃんで行きますよ。私もお呼ばれしてるんだもの。それくらいしないと。しょうがない。それじゃあ行ってきます。適当でいいですよね。
そうか、すまない。助かるよ。
That's so funny. I can't let the girls go. We'll go. Okay, thank you. Like, what? Alright, cool. I guess he could let the girls go. There was a brief silence after Kaede and Fubuki left. But that's... Oh, I remember. I'm like Alex Mason, I remember. But then someone's phone rang.
ごめんなさい、私だわ。
She took out her phone and checked the screen, then looked at me.
ねえ岡部さん、今アマデウスにアクセスしてもいいかしら。
え、
着信、あの子からなの。それにあの子がこの状況の中に入ったらどんな反応を示すか、それもいいサンプルになりそうだし、ダメかしら。
それは。
ねえ真帆さんアマデウスって何かな。
Next thing I knew, the call from Kurisu had stopped and said everyone was listening to
特
us.
定の人間の
Amadeus
記憶デ
Kurisu.
ータを内包したアーティフィシャルインテリジェンスよ。
アーティフィシル AI のことだにゃ。 AI とはエンシェントインテリジェンス、つまり古代に失われた大いなる知恵のことなんだにゃ。
アーティフィシャルインテリジェンスだってば。
自分で考えて学習するように作られたプログラムのことだお。でも特定の人の記憶がある AI ってことは、それって誰かのコピーってことじゃね？
果たしてそれがコピーとなり得るのか、それを現在進行形で検証しているところよ。
それがアマデウスってわけ？驚いた。そんなもん作ってるなんて。
ルカ君わかる？僕にもさっぱり。
見てもらえば早いんだけど。
She glanced over
俺
at me.
の映らないところでなら。
わかった。
She sighed and reached toward the icon on the smartphone with her finger.
え？スマホで起動できるん？
本体は大学のサーバーにあるんだけどね、簡易的にアクセスできるようにしたの。
Dara was staring down at the screen with stars in his eyes. As soon as I heard the voice from her phone,
もう先輩ったらどうして出てくれな。
おお、すげえ。
先輩じゃない？誰ですか？
僕、橋田至。なんなら僕を先輩って呼んでくれてもいいのだぜ。できれば赤く頬を染めながら上目遣いでよろう。
どうして私が見ず知らずのあなたを先輩なんて呼ばなければならないんです？あなたは一体？
驚かせて悪かったわね。
あ、先輩、今の人は？
橋田さんといって岡部さんのお友達よ。今日はお正月でしょ。それで岡部さんのラボラトリーでお友達とパーティーをしているの。
ああ、あの冷たい岡部さんですか。先輩はあの人との付き合いはほどほどにしておいた方がいいですよ。じゃないといつか捨てられちゃいますから。
まあまあ。
yo, that's so mean. Oh my god. There was ice in her words. She must have really been mad. Well, I guess I can understand
というわ
why.
けで紹介するわ。彼女が私の後輩、マキセ・クリスの記憶と人格を持つ AI アマデウスよ。
マキセ・クリスって。
もしかしてあの？
The Hashida's family's voices rose in unison. That's right. Those two know about Kurisu, and they knew what happened to
マ
her.
キセ・クリスさんって確か半年前くらいにラジカンで。マキセ・クリスさん、この人が。
もしかして皆さん、オリジナルの私のことをご存知なんですね。
あ、いや、まあ。
心配しなくても大丈夫ですよ。私、オリジナルの自分に何が起きたか知ってますし。
あ、そうなん？
That was easier said than done.
これってゲーム？
Nai seemed to be the only one who didn't get what was going on. But if for now, I was glad. Her words broke the tension that was building up in the room.
ゲームじゃないわ。私は AI。あなたと同じように自分で考えてお話ししているの。
っていうか、本当の AI なのにゃ。すごすぎるにゃ。
すごいのは私を作ってくれた真帆先輩です。
Everyone was staring in awe at Amadeus courage as she answered their questions. I started to regret this. I shouldn't have let Amadeus talk here. I shouldn't have made them all remember Amadeus courage soon. They need to end this conversation as soon as possible.
ヒヤジョーさん。
But,
あら
the second I spoke, Maho emitted a small cry of surprise.
どうしたん？
アマデウスがいきなり消えてしまったの。
アプリが落ちたんじゃね？まあ、そういうことだってあるっしょ。
そうなんだけど、再起動してもサーバーに繋がらないのよ。
サーバーのデータ更新とかは？
そんな話聞いてないわ。
ここのネット回線は落ちてないみたいやけど。
Paris had tried and succeeded to connect to her own smartphone to the web.
おかしいわね。今までこんなことなかったのに。ねえ岡部さん、あなたの方でも試してみてもらえない？
いや、俺は。
I don't think Amadeus Kurisu likes me, but before I could end my sentence, I heard a crash.
ごめんなさい。
Kagari had evidently dropped the glass. Little fragments are spread all over the floor.
お姉ちゃん、大丈夫？顔色悪いよ。
ええ、ありがとう。ちょっと疲れたのかも。あ、でも平気。ごめんね。すぐに片付けるから。あ、かがりさんはじっとしてて。僕が片付けますか。
It was in an instant that Luca got. Excuse me, sorry, wow. It was in. I still can't talk, wow. It was in an instant that Luca stood up to get to the. Oh man, just slide it in, bro. I'm done. Like, what is this? It was in the instant that Luca stood up to get the broom that I heard the sound. Armed men stormed into the room out of nowhere. Nobody knew what was going on. They were all wearing strange masks. They were all holding guns. Some of them had assault rifles. Yeah. The sight brought that nightmare back to me. Mayuri's brutal murder, which I've seen again and again and again and again. I thought it was okay now. I thought everything was over. Was this because of the world line change 2 weeks ago? Mayuri. Mayuri's gonna die again. A bang. A black hole in the floor. That's okay. It was just a warning shot. But it was enough to snap everyone out of their terror.
それ本物かよ。
岡部さん、僕
No, don't do anything to take them off. They were serious. They'd kill anyone they didn't need without mercy. Suzuha! What was Suzuha doing? It was no good. Mai was clinging to her legs and keeping her from moving. No, maybe there's just too many of them for her to do anything about. I had to do something, but my legs are shaking too much for me to manage anything helpful.
とにかくみんな落ち着いてくれ。
そんなこと言われても。
いいから落ち着いて奴らの言うことを聞くんだ。
I'd gone through this more times than I could count, but it was still all I could do to speak. But evidently my desperation had gotten through to them, because they stopped panicking, clumped together, and simply waited for the intruder's next move. I heard the sound of heels from behind the armed men. A woman's footsteps coming up the stairs. Was it her? Was it here? Easy. Yeah, that was a typo. Was it her? Moeka Kiryu. Is it you? Are you going to kill my Yuri again? But what appeared from beyond the door was... someone else entirely. A woman in black. She wore a skin-tight motorcycle suit and a black helmet. The black visor was pulled down and I couldn't see her face. It had to be her though. But if it was, what did they want? Last time, it was me, Daru, and Kurisu. But Kurisu was gone. That mean they were after Maho. The woman silently looked around the room, then walked over to us and reached out her hand. She grabbed Kagari's arm and walked her forward. They were after Kagari, but why her? No, there was only one reason they'd want her. They know then, that Kagari was from the year 2036. It's so funny because you have Kagari here, but usually the one in the motorcycle suit is Kagari. So what is going on? Because I don't remember. Kagari struggled. That woman was stronger than she imagined and she was easily pulled away. Mayuri and Kagari reached out their hands, but they both grabbed nothing but air. What do I do? What should I do? If I moved, Mayuri would, everyone would. Then did I just have to watch as she was taken away? There was suddenly a scream from near the door. By the time I looked over, the second man was already falling to the floor.
Oi, oi! これ一体何の騒ぎだ?
ブラウン氏!
くそ!
Before he could turn his gun around, Tanochi had grabbed his hand and twisted it upwards. Heard the dull solace snapping bone. The men seemed unsure how to handle the sudden intruder. One of the men decided to run towards us. He reached for what looked like the weakest member of our group. Normally this would have been the right choice, but this time it was the worst choice he could have made. With speed that you would never imagine from someone so huge, Tanochi closed the gap between himself and that man in an instant, slamming him into the wall. When they saw him bounce off and hit the floor, the others became deathly pale. And then Suzuha, whose legs were now free of Nai's grasp, moved as well. A thin, muscular leg, the exact opposite of what you'd expect to see from Daru's daughter, lashed upward, straight for the motorcycle suit woman's neck. The woman blocked the kick with her arm at the last moment. When she moved her hand to block, she let go of Kagari.
Kagari!
I reached out my hand and quickly pulled her close. Realizing the tide had turned, the woman leaped out of the lab in an instant, clutching her injured arm. The other attackers followed suit, carrying their injured fellows. In a moment, the chaos was replaced with silence. Miri's quavering voice brought me back to reality.
無事か? 他のみんなも大丈夫だったか? 怪我はないか?
Daru, Suzuha, Fairy, Sukako, Nai, Maho, Kagari. Their faces were drained of color, but none of them seemed hurt.
大丈夫。もう大丈夫だ。苗のことはちゃんとお父さんが守ってやるからな。
Poor Nai, she's only 12, man. She doesn't deserve this. There you go. When they saw the Tenoshi family clinging to each other, everyone finally sighed with relief. But still.
おい岡部、説明してもらおうか。あの連中は何だ。
いや、それは俺にも。
I didn't. At first I thought they were CERN. But if they were, there was no reason for Tenoji to be here. Yuga Tenoji was actually FB, the leader of the Akihabara Rounders. Of course, it was possible for that someone working for FB, Mahoka for example, acted without his knowledge. But that's impossible. Everyone tensed as the door opened again.
ただいま。飲み物いっぱい買ってきたよ。遅くなってしまってごめんなさい。吹雪ちゃんがあれもこれもって。あれ、どうしたのみんな。そんな怖い顔して。
And there you go.
送っていただいてありがとうございました。
いや。
Of course, after that, the New Year's party was cancelled. I knew my Yuri had really been looking forward to it, but none of us were up for partying after that. So everyone, I'd give them an explanation another day. For now, I decided to send them home for safety's sake. Everyone but the Tenojis walked with me to the station. Those who were taking the train home split up with us there, and the rest came with me to Yanabayashi Shrine. Daru, Suzuha, Lukako, and Kagari were the only ones left. There you go.
つけられてなかったか。
Let's see. Rhine. Oh, got here safe, yeah. Thank you, thank you. That's adorable. I wish I could reply, but get on Ferris. Get on Ferris. I'm gonna talk to the AI. It's an AI. It's an AI voice. I'm gonna talk to the AI. This is an AI. This is an AI. Alright.
大丈夫。ずっと注意してたけど、おかしな気配はなかった。
そうか。
Another person. This is AI. This is AI voice. It's AI. In Ikebukuro. That's it. I hadn't seen anyone suspicious at Akihabara Station either. If they were certain rounders, I would have expected to see them everywhere. Told the ones who taking the train to get straight home and contact me when they got there. Several of them already had. They made it home just fine. Which granted, we just witnessed some of them. Mayushi made it home fine. That's adorable. Thank you, Mayuri. You're the light in Okabe's life. You're the light in my life, shoot. I told Mayuri in particular to send me stickers on Ryan at regular intervals. Yeah, how long has it been? How long has it been between these messages, dog? Like what, 5 minutes? Like, she'd been doing that, so she was probably okay. But that didn't mean I was out of the woods, bro. Yo, okay, there you go. Different person at least. Maho Hiyasho. No problems. There you go. None to scar. But I didn't mean I was out of the woods yet.
やっぱり私が狙われたのかな。
Oh, hell yeah.
おそらくな。
100%.
連中、かがりたんのこと知ってるんかな。
100%. I didn't know if they were with CERN yet, but it was safe to assume that they knew Kagari was from the future and that's why they attacked her. Excuse me.
ごめんね。私のせいでみんなまで危険な目に遭わせてしまって。
君だけのせいじゃない。
It's not entirely your fault. She was brought here from the future at a young age, and then she went missing. She was another victim of fate. Like me.
でも本当にいいんですか？警察に届けなくても。
No.
すまないが、今はまだ。
Maho and the others had asked me the same thing, but I managed to get them to hold off. Part of the problem was that I didn't think they'd believe us, but the bigger issue was Kagari. If we told them they were after Kagari, we'd have to explain who she was. We couldn't tell them the truth, but even if we did, they wouldn't believe us.
で、これからどうする？
とにかく連中が何者かわからなければどうしようもない。
じゃあ、私たちだけで突き止めるってこと？どうやって？
それは。
To be honest, I had no clue. The world was full of groups who would want a functioning time machine if they knew it existed. Russia, America, China, and even Japan. If I couldn't find out who they were, the same thing was likely to happen again.
方法は明日改めて考えよう。それよりもルカ子、頼みがあるんだが。
はい、なんでしょう。
すまないが、今日から鈴葉も一緒にお前のところに泊めてもらってもいいか？
私がルカ兄さんの家に？
ああ。かがりを他で預かってもらうのも考えたんだが、ここの方が人数も多いし、防犯設備も整っている。
They had security systems to keep people from vandalizing the place and robbing the donation boxes. Just taking a quick look around, and I could see that there were cameras. And this is Kaguri's idea to be really. This is Kaguri's idea to begin with.
かがりもここの方がいいんだろ？
I could understand that. She was already in an unstable state after losing her memories, even before what happened today.
鈴葉がいてくれれば、みんな少しは安心できる。もちろん、ルカ子の家族の承認が必要だが。
お父さんはきっと大歓迎だと思います。
Yeah, the freak pervert oddball he is. That was certainly true. There is.
私も別に構わない。
Where is it? Where's the? It should be on my phone. It should be on my phone. So I've been reading something. I don't want to spoil what it is yet until I make a community post about it, because I am gonna make a video on it. But I've been reading something that I'm gonna read to you all. So let me just try to read this to you. It's a character expositing. So just listen close, right? That's embarrassing. It's frustrating to think that I've fallen behind in the area of being a freak, pervert, and oddball. That's exactly who Lukaku's dad is. Almost exactly. Well, not even exactly. I think Daru fits the bill better, but Lukaku's dad is definitely a freak and an oddball, bordering pervert. Well, not bordering. I think he's a pervert and an oddball bordering freak. Daru's all three. Daru's all three. No.
兄さんは帰りなさい。
Watching them talk made me think that things were slowly returning to normal. Lukaku and Kaguri's expression softened a little. Daru's usual antics had come in handy for once. To be fair, I will give him this. It's like what Okabe said. Daru has a way of lightening the mood by getting the flack on him. By being a pervert, it helps with what's it called? Yeah, I'll look at that message later. It does help with, like, again, decreasing the tension, like right now. Like right now, or usually like with Suza or stuff like that. Even if she finds it annoying, it's who her dad is. It's who her dad is. Is it AI? Is it AID? Alright. There you go. Sorry, give me 1 second. go. There you go. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I'll do that later. I'll do that later. Yeah. That's crazy. That's interesting. Seeing how seeing that the Steins but its Christmas stream got the most views and the most likes out of like the past 6. Granted, that Christmas stream was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, but even though it was in September. But anyways, yeah, we can keep going. 2 hours. 2 hours in. And I'm gonna see if I can go for 3, but you know, we'll see. Thought it was usual antics to come into. I reread that, whatever.
じゃあ頼んだぞ。何かあったらすぐに連絡してくれ。
わかりました。
He's so aura. Dara and I left Kagari to the 2 of them and headed back to the lab.
なあ、あれ本当に起きたことなんだよな。
ああ。
ドッキリとかじゃなくて現実なんだよな。
Real. Yeah, that was real. I experienced it so many times before. Screams and the smell of gunpowder. He had a flashback, yeah.
どうしたんオカリン。
すまない。安心したせいか気分が。
I've been so focused on seeing everyone home safely that I hadn't had time to think about it. But with that done, the memories came flooding back. The memories of last July.
大丈夫。今は僕も一緒だからさ。なんならちょっと休む？
I'll rest when I'm dead. I could feel Daru's hand. He used a huge hand rubbing my back. Strangely, it made me feel a little better.
ありがとう。もう大丈夫だ。
無理すんなよ。
あ。
I started to walk toward the lab again and Daru followed me
な
worried.
あオカリン。やっぱさ、これもタイムマシン関係のことだよな。
ああ。
これもシュタインズゲートの選択とかいうやつ？
The choice of Steins.
今思えば痛々しい響きだな。
オカリン。
Was it going to keep following me forever, no matter how much I try to look away or run? I just wanted to live in peace. Was even that too much to ask now?
オカリン、肩貸してやるよ。
I forgot about this scene. I completely forgot about it. Honestly, I completely forgot mostly, like, not, well, that's an oxymoron. Sorry. I mostly forgot about this side of the routes, like, these 3. It's been a while since I've seen them, but, because I mostly remembered Gehenna Stigma and Vega and Altair. It's weird. There you go.
まだふらついてるじゃん。ほれ。
大丈夫だよ。
いいから遠慮すんなって。
ダル。
ん？
お前キモいぞ。
最近のまともになったオカリンの方がキモいっつーの。
That is very true.
ありがとな。
気にすんな。
That's all I asked for, man. Legit, that's all I asked for. Was genuinely just normal Okabe and Daru interactions. And when I say normal, I don't mean like, oh, like this Okabe and Daru interacting. Like, just Okabe and Daru interacting as friends. That's all I asked for. Because original Steins Gate didn't give us that. Sure, we had some here and there, but it mostly had my Yuri or someone else there. Okabe and Daru didn't really have that many scenes alone together. They had some. It's not like that they didn't exist. But it seemed like that wasn't in the original game. A male, like, excuse me, not a male, because their gender doesn't matter. A bonding moment like that solidifies Daru and Okabe's relationship. They've known each other for years. Not as long as Mayuri or anything like that, but they've known each other for years. They're good friends. And sure, you can say that the Vega and Altera scene where Daru punches Okabe is a sign of their friendship, but he blew up on him. Like, that was more of like a, alright man, like, you're pissing me off, like, lock in, what are you doing? But this scene was more of just like, hey man, like, I'm here for you, alright? You can use my shoulder to lean on, you're good. That was really sweet. It shows the character that we didn't get to see in Steins Gate Original, and that's awesome. Because as much of a pervert as he is, because of the fact that we see him more often and we see that annoying side of him, we see the good side of him too. Again, Plug a little weird, but he chill. He chill. Luca Rushibara was sad. He'd been sad for a long, long time. Been a long time since he met Okabe and Rintaro, became friends and began to visit the Future Gadget Lab. Rintaro Ishida, his classmate Mayuri Shina, and the other lab members all treated him as a friend. That by itself made him happy. He was just an ordinary, shy boy, and they accepted him anyway. He was very grateful for that. But still, he always felt like he was being left out. He knew they were hiding something from him. That made him sad. What made him sadder was that he couldn't bring himself to ask them about it.
寝ないの？あまねさんこそまだ起きてたんですね。いろいろ考えることがあってね。そうですか。
Even Luca could tell that a lot that she was thinking about what happened today. The New Year's party. The mysterious men who burst into the lab. They were holding guns. Not plastic model guns. Real guns. From Luca's perspective, it was a mystery how they'd even gotten them into Japan. But they were real anyway. They had real guns in their hands and they pointed them at him and the others. It hadn't seemed real then, but now the very thought made him shiver. If any of them had squeezed their index finger just a little, he, Luca, wouldn't be here right now. Kagari Shina moaned softly in her sleep. She must have really been tired after everything that happened today. She had gone to sleep almost immediately after she lay down, and her short breaths had soon changed into moans.
Mama. Mama. めっちゃ嫌だよ。Mama.
Was she dreaming of her mother?
Mama. Mayuri. Mama.
Even that didn't surprise Luca much. She started calling out that name in her sleep several days ago. Kagari Shina. Mayuri Shina. At first he thought it was just coincidence that they had the same last name. But he almost spoke then stopped. There's so much he wanted to ask but couldn't. He wanted courage. Just a little. The courage to ask them to tell him. He reached under his pillow and felt something hard. It was a cheap toy sword you could buy at any store. But still, it was his treasure. He held the hilt tight. That's so sweet. Oh man, that's so sweet. Samadere, even though he knows it's a cheap sword, even though he knows it's not real, even though he knows he's just indulging Okabe's whimsy, it still gives him courage because of what it means to him. And that's so sweet. This game, you gotta give this game credit. For the most part, it understands the characters. Of course, it's a sequel, so it, it should, but it understands most of the characters.
聞いてもいいですか？何？
Suzuha sat up and looked straight at him. He was only barely able to stop himself from looking away. If he did, he wouldn't be able to ask anything. He touched his toy sword once more and slowly opened his mouth to speak.
あまねさんはどうして岡部さんのことオカリンおじさんって呼ぶんですか？
Yeah, you would think that you would ask that a lot sooner, but it's Lucas, so I can't really stop calling him Lukaku. It's disrespectful. It's, you know, I don't blame him. He was probably scared too.
どうしてまゆりちゃんのことまゆ姉さんって呼ぶんですか？どうしてフェイリスさんのことルミ姉さんって呼ぶんですか？
What do you call him, Big
僕
Brother?
のことルカ兄さんって呼ぶんですか？まゆりママってまゆりちゃんのことですよね。どうしてかがりさんがまゆりママなんて言うんですか？
私の言えた義理じゃないってことは分かってる。でも知らない方がいいと思う。
そうやって僕はまた蚊帳の外なんですか？僕だって知りたいです。僕だって皆さんと同じ悩みを共有したいんです。
ルカ兄さん、
教えてもらえませんか？
She looked at him straight in the eye for a moment, silently. To be fair, Lukaku's housing not only Kagari but Suzuha now. And if Kagari is going to be potentially in danger and Lukaku by extension is in danger as well, shouldn't he at least know? Not even about like what happened with Makise, but just like with the future. Like, granted, that's a lot, so I don't blame him for not telling him. But he's in danger now. Like, he should probably know at least why he's in danger. Lucas simply waited.
オカリンおじさんがさ、ルカ兄さんに事情を言わない理由、私なんとなくわかる気がするんだ。
理由ですか？
ルカ兄さんには純粋にこの世界の人でいてほしいんだよ。ルカ兄さんだけは今という時間の存在でいてほしいんだ。それがオカリンおじさんの救いなんだ。
僕が救い？
ああ、
そんな。
Now that she told him that, he couldn't ask any more questions. Did Rentaro Okabe really think that? He didn't even know. In the end, he would never know anything. And that only made him sadder. Wow, what a scene. What a scene. Ah, poor Lukaku. Wow, poor Lukaku. Next day after the attack, I arrived just a little before I was supposed to, but the person I was meeting was already there. Moeka... No,
お
it's
待たせ
Ferris.
しましたにゃ。
ありがとう。
近くの席にはしばらく誰も座らせないようにするから、思う存分話すといいにゃ。
助かる。
Yep, Moeka. I sipped some fresh coffee as I observed the person in front of me. Moeka Kiryu. She was as expressionless as ever, and there was no way to tell what she was thinking.
話って。
腕の調子はどうだ？
腕？
ああ。もう大丈夫なのか？
The girl in the motorcycle suit yesterday. She blocked Suzuha's kick with her arm. Suzuha had told me later that her kick had landed pretty hard. Whoever it hit had probably gotten hurt. If that was Moeka.
何を言ってるかわからない。
そうか。
I still didn't know if Moeka was
腕を
innocent.
見せてもらってもいいか？
腕？
ああ。左の腕の袖をまくってもらいたい。
どうして？
ダメか？
Moeka sighed as if she were annoyed. She didn't seem upset or worried at all. Okari, in big trouble. You remember what happened yesterday, right? So I was just talking with Nai on Rhine, and then she told me about her dreams for the future. Nice dreams, huh? What were they? First one. She wants to get good at badminton. said first. Does that mean there's a second? Second. She wants to get good at fighting games. Okay, that's interesting. Third. Oh. She wants to decorate the Bron Tube workshop so it looks pretty. Fourth. She wants a telescope. Is that a dream? She says lately she's liked looking at the stars. She must have gotten it from you. Jealous. She seems like she's interested in space. Not so strong. She's a very strong girl. You're right. Oh, Maishi's okay too. Wow. What do you mean, big trouble? I was just a waste of time. It's about big trouble, big news. No, whatever, man. Sure. I hope Naya gets really good at Batman, man. She didn't seem upset or worried at all, and that made me worried. Oh, she's so calm. Mooka rolled up her sleeve like I asked her to. Her skin was deathly pale white. That legit, it just looks like the CG. Like, easy. This CG just looks like the scene. It's so weird because, like, usually you would think like, oh, it looks like the sprite. No, like, that's really good. That's like, this looks like it just, this is natural. This isn't, excuse me, when you look at a CG and you're like, oh shoot, you can tell it's a CG, you know, that's fine. CG's like, they're not meant to be like, oh, here's a picture of the scene you're looking at. That's fine, whatever. But you look at a CG like this, and it's like, this feels natural. This legit just feels so natural. There was nothing else. There's no bruises and no traces of her trying to hide something with foundation. Of course, there was also no bandages.
しまってくれ。
Moeka tilted her head just a little and rolled her sleeve back down. The girl in the motorcycle suit wasn't Moeka. This wasn't a big surprise. I already assumed that she wasn't. Come to think of it, Moeka can do that Kagari she knows with it this whole time. There's no need to attack when so many people were around. Moeka had nothing to do with this, knowing that for sure it was progress. But that left me with a new problem. Who was the woman in the motorcycle suit then? In order to allay Moeka's suspicions, I asked her for a report on her research and told her to keep it up. Then I said goodbye and headed to my next destination. This is my next destination. It took real dedication to open a store like this on the 2nd of January. I took a deep breath and steeled myself. I went inside.
失礼します。
Oh, okay.
やっと来やがったか。
He sounded like he was waiting
昨
for
日
me.
の説明をしに来たんだろ。
それもあります。
To know she had been really pushy about last night, so I told him about explaining today.
昨日のは一体何だったんだ。
その前に一つ確認したいんですが、昨日のあれはあなたの差し金じゃないですよね。
Tenoshi always looked angry, but now he looked even more pissed off.
俺の？それは一体どういう意味だ。なんで俺があんな連中をおめんとこにやんなきゃならね
え。わかりませんか？
わかるわけねえだろ、んなもん。
それは
I checked to see that Nye was nearby before I
あなた
spoke.
がラウンダーだからですよ。ミスター・フェルディナント・ブラウン。いや、FB と呼んだ方がいいですか。
Oh, wow. Oh, that's evil. Oh, wow, that's actually so evil. Oh, shoot. Oh, wow, okay. Wow. Shoot. Let me read this tip before I try to talk about that. Ferdinand Braun. Karl Ferdinand Braun. 1850 to 1918. German winner of the 1909 Nobel Prize in Physics. Inventor of the Braun tube. Ooh, Okabe, that's... Wow. So, that's the thing, right? Okabe in original Steins would have done that too. That's like, he actually would have done that. Where's the stream real quick? I want to see my see. Yep, same old, same old. Yeah, no. So, if that seems out of character for you, don't worry, it's not. Okabe is like that. When he gets like bold and kind of scary, he does stuff like this. Using Nai as leverage is insane, but he's done stuff like this before. Again, look at what happened with Mooka in original Steins Gate. He does this. And it's smart. It's just really like, oh, wow. Yep. His expression quickly turned blank. Yep. Mai must have sensed the change in her dad's mood because she turned towards him.
どうしたって何がだ？
急に怖い顔したから。
そうか？お父さんはいつも通りだぞ。ほら。ほら、分かったらいい子だから外で。ああ、いやいや、そこでテレビでも見てな。な。
Naya still seemed concerned, but she did as she was told and sat in the chair in front of the CRT TV. The TV was playing a New Year's comedy program.
やはり娘には知られたくはないんですね。
Shinoji said nothing but motioned for me to sit in the chair away from her. Instead of his usual yelling, he was ice cold. I started sweating despite the winter chill. But now that I brought it up, it was too late to do anything about it. I sat down in a small seat, legs tense. I was ready to run at any moment.
おめえ、何を言ってやがる。
ごまかしても無駄です。
ごまかすも何も、俺にはおめえが何を言ってるのかさっぱりわからねえな。なんだ、その FB とかなんとかってのは、新手の SNS か？
俺は知ってるんです。あなたがセルンのラウンダーだってことを。
Social networking service. These are community-oriented websites of varying forms, such as registration-based or invitation only. These sites include functions that make it easier to communicate with others on the internet, like Twitter. His eyes felt like they were boring a hole in me. They were completely different from the eyes of the ordinary Tenoshi I knew. They were the eyes of a killer. A cold killer. Who was even trying to hide his murderous intent.
一応聞いてやるが、おめえのその情報はどこからのもんだ？
話す必要はありません。
Don't let him intimidate you. You're in control here.
いいから聞かせろや。それくらいの覚悟を決めてここに来たんだろうが。
話してもどうせあなたは信じない。
そう言わずに茶飲み話としゃれ込もうや。どうせこんな日に客なんか来ねえしな。
This man worked for CERN. He was a rounder. What those rounders did to me in the other world line, I would never forget that. But Tenoji probably didn't work for CERN willingly. He probably had his reasons. At least, that's how it have felt in the Alpha world line. Of course, the Beta world line might be different. In this world line, he never met Hashida Suzu. How much of an effect that had on his life, I didn't know. Tenoji was staring at me, not moving a muscle. Depending on what I said, he was ready to kill me without a word. That's what his body language seemed to convey. Fine. I'll tell you then. Let's see if you believe it.
世界線な。到底信じられる話じゃねえな。
最初にそう言いましたよ。それにあなたが信じようが信じまいが関係ない。俺はあなたの正体を知っている。重要なのはそこだけです。
確かにその通りだ。おめえの話はほぼ完璧だ。俺しか知らねえようなことまで知ってやがる。正直薄気味悪いくらいだ。
By making Tenoshi admit who he really was, I could assume I'd won the first round of this conversation. This is when things got
セ
hard.
ルンの機密保持は絶対だということは知っています。それに任務に失敗した者だけでなく達成した者まで処分されるということも。
Seren had always ensured that their rounders died. And then they killed Mayuri too.
そこまで知ってんのかよ。だったら
He slowly stood up.
しかしこれは任務とは関係ない。
I barely managed to squeak out the
機密だって
words.
そうです。漏洩したわけじゃない。俺は最初から知っていたに過ぎない。だから処罰の対象にはならない。違いますか？
詭弁だな。
Tenochi's face was right in front of me. His green eyes were boring into me. I couldn't even move.
だが間違っちゃいねえ。別に俺はセルンから IB への5100とやろうを探せとも言われてねえし、おめえらを連れてこいとも言われてねえ。言われてねえことはする必要がねえってことだ。俺がラウンダーだったこともおめえが黙ったりゃ済む。何も困ったことはねえな。
Tenochi was looking past me toward Nai, who was still watching TV. His eyes had changed from those of a beast to those of a parent.
で、おめえの目的は何だ？俺に全て話したってことは何か目的があんだろ。
実はあなたに頼みたいことがある。
Tenochi silently waited for me to continue.
椎名かがりを、昨べ狙われた女性を守ってやってほしい。
あの嬢ちゃんは誰になぜ狙われてる？
わかりません。
それじゃあそんな話は受けられねえな。
娘を巻き込みたくないからですか？
分かってんじゃねえか。だったら最初からそんな話すんじゃねえよ。
すでに一度巻き込まれているじゃないですか。昨日のようなことが今後ないとでも。
苗を人質にしてるつもりか？殺すぞてめえ。
Stay calm. It was a year and it's all
協
over.
力し合おうと言っているんですよ。
協力ねえ。こっちにデメリットしかねえじゃねえか。
そんなことないよ。
Suzuka came into the store along with.
すみません。
かがり。鈴葉、話を聞いてたのか。
Suzuka nodded.
例えば私とかがりをバイトとしてここに置いてもらえれば目を離さなくてもよくなる。
It's true. It was close to the lab and probably safer. You could protect them while protecting Nai.
おめえらがこのビルから出てく方が手っ取り早いな。そしたら俺やナイが巻き込まれることもなくなる。
あなたたち親子は昨日襲ってきた連中の顔を見ている。それが、
Oh, sorry.
あなたたち親子は昨日襲ってきた連中の顔を見ている。それが何を意味するかわからないわけじゃないはず。
There was a chance they might try to kill everyone who saw their faces.
私は戦闘の経験がある。銃も扱える。あなたも昨日見てたはず。だからそれなりに役には立てる。
Tenoji rubbed his temples and thought for a moment, but
お父さ
Nai, who had been watching TV the whole time, suddenly
ん、私
interrupted.
よくわかんないけど昨日みたいなことは怖いからもう嫌だな。
ナイ。
お父さんが守ってくれてすごく嬉しかったけど、お父さんが私を守るために無茶して怪我するかもって想像したらもっと怖くなった。鈴葉お姉ちゃんはすごく強いし 私のことかばってくれてたよ。
Whatever. Did not understand what we were saying.
私はお姉ちゃんたちと一緒がいいな。
Tenoji scratched his head and spoke
言っとく
brusquely.
が、バイト代は2人で1人分だからな。
渋いね。
文句があるならいいんだぜ。
いえ、ありがとうございます、店長さん。
お父さん。
Nai gave her dad a hug. It was a good sign. Tenoji was on her side. I could probably keep Kagari
ありがとうご
safe.
ざいます。
別におめえのためじゃねえ。苗のためだ。
Nai was already happily chattering away at Kagari and Suzuha, as Tenoji washed his eyes for those of a father again.
ま、こっちはそういうことにしてやっからよ。岡部、おめえは連中が何者なのか突き止めろ。じゃねえと対策も打ちようがねえぞ。わかったな。
わかりました。
It was one thing to say it, but honestly I had no clues at all. I turned to go upstairs to the lab when Tenoji seemed to remember something.
そうだ。そういやあの連中、妙な番号を口走ってやがったな。
番号？
確か、そう。K6205 とかなんとか。
K6205. Was there some kind of code?
しかも5を5って発音してやがった。
どこかの鉛ってことですか？
そうじゃねえ。フォネティックコードっつってな、軍隊用語だ。
Let's see. Tips. Phonetic code. Alright. A method of pronouncing letters to avoid being misunderstood on wireless channels.
軍隊？
それも西側のな。
あ、やっと来たにゃん、おかり。
Let me see. So. Yeah, no, nothing important. Yeah, it's around 2.5 hours right now. I could go for 3 hours, but I'd honestly rather not. At least like for right now, because I do have work tomorrow. But, you know, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. But yeah, no, what's it called? As you probably hear in the background, do it on the stream because of that too. But yeah, anyways, so hope y'all enjoy. Hope y'all had a great time. Gonna try to do another stream before that, and I'll make a community post about the next video that I'm planning to do once I have more concrete information on it. As in, like, once I have more concrete progress on it. There you go. But yeah, until next time. Hope you all have a good one, and I'll see you on the next stream. Peace.